Hey guys, Jennifer here, and welcome to day 5 of Subscriber Lunch Week. For today's lunch, I'm getting in the kitchen to cook up a lunch that is a tasty twist on the classic cheeseburger. But before I share it with you, I wanted to give you guys a little update from my area of Florida. So far this week, the kids and I have been self-quarantined. The kids have just been continuing to do their schoolwork, and I've been keeping myself busy in the kitchen making videos. And pretty much anytime we've needed something, we've ended up just sending my husband to the store by himself. So far, I feel like this is a pretty good strategy because for some reason, that guy almost never gets sick. I'd say pretty much over the 14 years that I've known him, I can only remember him being mildly sick maybe once or twice, and one of those times was food poisoning for sure. So if we need something, we send him. Earlier today, I actually sent him to the grocery store to pick up some lettuce and to check to see how things were looking. And you guys, I am really pleasantly surprised that almost everything in my local grocery store seemed to be almost back to normal. There was plenty of fresh produce. The meat section was pretty full. There were plenty of eggs and bacon, also lots of cheese and yogurt and milk, compared to last week where a lot of these items were cleared off the shelf at this store. And we also noticed that the bread aisle was finally being refilled, but they had started putting limits on the amount of bread that you could purchase at one time. And unfortunately, I was not surprised that there were still no toilet paper or paper towels. And in the case that they get any in stock, they have also imposed limits to just one paper product per person per trip. So you guys, that's kind of what's going on here. If you are able to get to the store, let me know how things are looking in your area. Okay guys, so now after that little update, it's time to get on to today's lunch. And this lunch idea was actually sent in by Camille. Camille is from Lebanon. She also requested a rainbow theme for her lunch today. And for her main course, she requested a cheeseburger. But like I said, instead of making a classic cheeseburger, I'm going to change things up a bit. I recently saw my friend Fallon over at the channel Moss Family TV make some cheeseburger wraps that were inspired by McDonald's. So I thought it would be really fun to try to make my own version of a cheeseburger wrap, but mine would be inspired by In-N-Out. For all you guys who might be new here, we used to live in California where In-N-Outs were all over the place, and it was seriously my favorite fast food place. Unfortunately, there are no In-N-Outs here in Florida, so I'm looking forward to these In-N-Out style burger wraps. Now in a separate pan, I'm going to add just a pat of butter with a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm going to turn the pan on low, and once the butter is melted, I'm going to add in all of my onions. Now when you go to In-N-Out, they give you the option between fresh onion or grilled onions, and I used to always add the grilled onions. So I'm going to continue to cook these onions on a very low heat until they are a nice dark color. The onions get really sweet when you cook them this way, and they smell amazing. And before these onions are done, I do want to go ahead and season them up with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and prepare the filling for our burger wraps. Now, if you wanted to, you really could just cook up some burger patties like the ones I have here, but I have something else in mind that will not only stretch my meat a little bit further, but I think it'll also be easier for my kids to eat it this way. Because after all, a lot of times these subscriber lunches that I make end up being my kids' dinner for that night. So as you can see, I've just crumbled up the meat, and I'm going to cook this on medium until it's no longer pink. Now at this point, I definitely want to go ahead and drain off any of the excess oil, and then at this point, I'm going to add in some flavoring. To my ground beef, I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now, if you don't have this on hand, you can totally leave it out. Next, I'm adding in a squirt of ketchup, just a little bit. I'm not making sloppy joes here. Followed by a little bit of mustard. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard that at In-N-Out, they actually spread mustard on their burger patties before they cook them. If any of you guys know if that is true or not, please let me know in the comments down below. And then finally, I did season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now that this is mixed all together, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and get started on my lettuce. Now for these burger wraps, I'm just going to be adding in a little bit of shredded lettuce. You could also add tomatoes, but I'm going to leave them out. And for the cheese part of these cheeseburgers, I'm also going to shred up some cheddar cheese. So now that that's done, there's just one more thing I need to prepare before I can put these wraps together. If you've ever been to In-N-Out, you'll already know that all of their burgers ours automatically come with something called the spread, which is actually a lot like McDonald's special sauce that you might find on a Big Mac. So to make this copycat In-N-Out burger spread, I'm going to start by adding half a cup of mayo to a bowl. Next, I'm going to be adding in 3 tablespoons of ketchup, followed by 2 tablespoons of pickle relish. Now, you guys, you're supposed to use sweet pickle relish for this, but I only have dill pickle relish, which is what we prefer anyway, so that's what I'm going to add. Next, I'm going to sweeten this up a little bit by adding about 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, and then to add a little bit of a tang to this sauce, I'm also adding about 1.5 teaspoons of white vinegar. So you can see this sauce has kind of a sweet, savory, and tangy thing going on. So now I'm just mixing all of these ingredients together, and pretty much that's all there is to it. That's In-N-Out's special sauce. So to build these, I'm going to start with a nice big flour tortilla. Next, I'm going to squirt on some of our special spread, followed by the meat. I'm going to top the meat with the caramelized onions, and then a good amount of the shredded cheddar cheese. Next, I'm going to add on the lettuce, and if you wanted to, now would be the time to add extra pickles and or tomatoes if that's how you like your burgers. Now I'm going to very carefully roll this up like a burrito, and pretty much this would be good to go just as is. But I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to place this entire thing in my panini press. This definitely helps warm the tortilla itself, and it kind of helps the wrap stay together so it's not able to fall apart as easily. Now I can go ahead and remove this from my press, cut it in half, and that's all there is to it. But that's not all there is to this lunch. I still have a few more things I need to add. For Camille's fruit, she requested a combination of heart-shaped strawberries, some fresh pineapple, and blueberries. This is such a delicious and colorful combination. And then for her veggies, she asked for a combination of carrots and cucumbers. So for the carrots, I'm just going to add in some baby carrots. And for the cucumbers, I created kind of like cucumber chips with my crinkle cutter. And I'm just going to add them into the lunchbox into this really fun pattern. Next, I'm going to go ahead and divide the back section of the lunchbox. And in this first little section, I'm going to be adding in Camille's snack. Now, she requested rainbow goldfish to go with the rainbow theme. It seems like a lot of lunches this week have had rainbow goldfish. And then for her sweet treat, she requested some rainbow gummies. So I just happen to have these little rainbow gummies. I think these are so fun and cute. I'm going to add just a few right in here. Okay guys, now the very last thing that Camille requested for her lunch is a Good to Grow bottle with a unicorn topper. And for this lunch, I decided to go with the strawberry kiwi drink. This also has some hidden vegetable juice in here as well. And there you have it guys. Now let me know in the comments down below if you've ever made a cheeseburger wrap, and also let me know what your favorite fast food cheeseburger is. I let you guys know that mine is definitely In-N-Out, but I'm curious to find out what your favorite is. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.